Hi, my name's Anthony. I'm currently living in Auckland, New Zealand. This lesson is for week 6 of Introduction to Music Production at Coursera.org. This week I will explain the usage of the 5 most important synthesis modules: oscillator, filter, amplifier, envelope, and low-frequency oscillator. These 5 modules are the building blocks of synthesis and what connects everything together in constructing and modulating the desired sound that you want. Let's begin with number 1, the oscillator, also known as a VCO, a voltage-controlled oscillator. This creates the sound based on a geometric waveform such as a sine, triangle, sawtooth, noise or square-shaped waveform, and is quite bright and intense. The different types of waveform will give you a different resulting sound. For example, a square waveform is more hollow, kind of like a clarinet, where a sawtooth waveform is very bright, rather like the emulation of a violin. Number 2, filter. Its general feature is to remove unwanted frequencies, with the low-pass filter being the most important, as the oscillator tends to be bright, so the filter makes it sound more real, taking away those high-end frequencies that it creates. The filter can also be modulated, and the most important thing that is modulated is the cutoff frequency. It gives a sweeping effect or wah-wah effect. A parameter that emphasizes the cutoff frequency is resonance. You can also change the sound going from bright to dull, and it's also nice to use a boost in the filter to give distinct features to the sound. Number 3, amplifier. This will control the volume of the sound over a period of time and how it develops over time. The amplifier is going to be changing constantly and rapidly. It is a voltage-controlled amplifier and is attached to the envelope. Number 4, envelope. This creates a shape that is followed every time a key is pressed, and nearly always controls the main amplifier, which allows us to give it a sustained or percussive feel. It has 4 main controls: attack time, decay time, sustain level, and release time. Here you can manipulate whether you want the sound to swell in or start sharply like a drum hit, or change how long the sound will last after you stop pressing a key. And number 5, low frequency oscillator. This creates cyclic variations in any other parameter, for example, controlling the pitch of the oscillator to give a vibrato effect. The main thing the LFO modulates is the VCO, the voltage-controlled oscillator. Like the VCO, the LFO also has wave shapes, but the main difference between them is the rate that they run at. The LFO is primarily low frequency, but also lower than the range of human hearing, so we don't hear the output, but it is useful to control something else. So to recap on our lesson today, we looked at the 5 most important synthesis modules. Number 1, oscillator, the VCO, which creates the sound based on a geometric waveform. Number 2, filter, the VCF, the low-pass filter being the most important. Number 3, amplifier, VCA, controls the volume over a period of time and how it develops. The envelope creates a shape that is followed every time a key is pressed and controlled by attack time, decay time, sustain level and release time. And the LFO, the low-frequency oscillator, which modulates the VCO, for example, to control pitch of the VCO to create a vibrato effect. The best way to understand all of what we covered in today's lesson is to test it out in your synthesizer and get a feel for how it works, and more importantly, how it sounds and what you prefer, so you can add it to your style.